Good evening, one and all. We welcome you all to the International Conference on Social Work and Sciences, Shared Future for Transformative Change, Harmonious Coexistence, Nature, Environment, Indigenous Wisdom, Diversity, Inclusion, and Sustainable Development 2024, commemorating World Social Work Day, World Social Work Week, and World Social Work Month 2024, and also Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, nation celebrating 76 years of independence, and United Nations Sustainable Development Goals 2015 to 2030 as part of awareness and campaigns in collaboration with Sri Holistic Health Foundation India and Sri Research Institute Center for Arts, Sciences and Wellbeing. Before we start our sessions, let's take the blessings of Almighty.
कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शत्रुबुद्धिविनाशाय दीपज्योतिर्नमोऽस्तुते दीपज्योतिर्नमोऽस्तुते शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः.
With the blessings of Almighty, we shall continue with today's sessions. So we request all the presenters who are awaiting for these presentations to kindly request you to share the details in the format shown on the screen. In chat box to host. So today we will just look at various presentations which have been scheduled, and those who are registering daily, kindly join at 6 o'clock and make a request, as their presentations may not be listed on the website. Any registration or any presenter whose topic is not listed, you can join and share your details in chat box. We can invite you. Don't worry about the list. So today, 6th day of international conference, this 1 week international conference. So afternoon we had few presentations. We had around 9 presentations in the afternoon. And we'll be having the evening session now. And we'll be having presentations. So the scheduled presentations, Dr. Akash, if you are available, share your details in the chat box. Gandikota Sudhir Kumar, Shri Pooja Siddham Shetty, Senthil Kumar, Rakesh Kumar Gupta, Anjana Chaudhary, Soumya, Akanksha, Syed Safura, I think you have completed. Julakia Khurshid, any of these presenters which you can see on the screen or even on the website. Any of these presenters available or even other presenters who are available, who are scheduled or unscheduled, even tomorrow also, no issues. You can join and complete your presentations. Kindly do not wait till last day. So whoever have registered for the presentations can join. And share their details in chat box. So today, the first presentation would be by Arif Yamkaibam, role of environment impact assessment on conserving natural environment. You can raise your hand if you are available. See, I am repeatedly announcing. You forget about the details shared in Google form. Here, this is for this queue, which we are maintaining. Kindly follow the instructions. Time and again, we are giving the instructions after registration. Registration is mandatory through Google form. Once you have registered and you are joining the conference, you have to share your details in the chat box so that we can invite. So kindly follow the procedures. Otherwise, you will face issues in completing your presentations and as well as getting your certificates. These are very simple instructions. If you are not able to follow, then how you will be able to follow complex instructions? Instructions are very clear because of the very short time and we are providing opportunity for everyone. So kindly be disciplined and kindly read through the instructions on the website, understand it. Very simple procedure. You have to register first through the Google form, then check the schedule. If your name is listed, even if your name is not listed, don't worry. Every day, join at 6 p.m. unless and until if you are a presenter and if you want only presentation certificate, you join daily at 6 p.m. and share your details in the chat box and wait for your turn and complete your presentation. If you are looking for both presentation and participation certificate for all the days, you join on every day at 6 p.m. Fill the registration form in Zoom platform, not Google form. Google form is only for once. For each activity, if you have multiple presentations, you can fill it any number of times based on your number of activities or presentations. So daily in the platform, we'll be taking registration data, those who are attending on a daily basis, because that is for 1 week, that is accessible from anywhere. But those who are in the Zoom platform only can access the forms in Zoom platform. So registration form will be given for that day and also a feedback form at the end of the session. So kindly be there. Those who want participation certificates, kindly stay back, attend all the sessions, and fill the feedback form as well. So this for day-to-day participation certificate. Participation is given not for entire 1 week. It will be given on a daily basis. Whichever day you are attending, you will be getting participation certificate. Presentation, whichever presentation you are making, you will be getting only presentation certificate. You will not be getting participation certificate in spite of presenting. That is only presenting. You are coming, presenting and going. So only presentation certificate will be given. If you need participation as well, so you have to participate also for the sessions. Hope that is very clear to all and it has been clearly mentioned. So that's why there is an option even in the registration form. So you have to select both if you require both presentation and participation. We have to encourage others also now. If we don't stay on the platform, then how we will encourage others? So participation certificate is meant for those who are attending. Presentation is for those who are presenting. So if you need both, you have to participate as well as present. So both separate certificates will be issued. So kindly read the instructions carefully on the website and follow the instructions. If you are not following, you are the ones who is going to lose the opportunity as well as the certificate. So we are daily sending you mails. We have the proof. We are documenting it. And it is your responsibility to follow the instructions and complete the instructions in time. We will not be responsible for your delay or non-completion of formalities. So don't think it is free. We are not paying anything. So you can do as you like. That will not be tolerated and that will not be entertained. We are making it free so that in spite of hardships in the COVID, everyone gets the opportunity, leaving no one behind. But it doesn't mean free doesn't have any value, or it should not be taken in any other sense, and it should not be misused or abused in any form. So kindly follow the instructions and accordingly complete your formalities in time. Those who are not completing their formalities, we cannot issue certificates for them as entire process is taken up by the system. So if you follow the instructions, the system will automatically generate certificate. If you don't follow, you will not be getting certificate. So entirely you are responsible for all the activities which are happening. You cannot blame anyone else. You have to blame only you for not following the instructions and not completing them in time. So time and again, I am telling you, all the process is automated. So kindly read the instructions. Without reading, don't even participate, don't even present. Read all the instructions carefully, follow them, and complete your formalities and get your certificates. As simple as that. So the first presentation would be by Arif Yumkaibam. And also, those who are presenting, kindly do not change any settings, do not close any forms that will be accessible as a co-host. If anyone is doing any other thing other than switching on their audio, video, and presenting, they will be banned forever on the platform. Not only now, in future also, no conferences you can attend, because if we see any such activity done by any participant, will block them, and system will block them permanently in the account itself. So in future, you cannot attend any event. So be cautious. Do not close any forms. Do not make any changes. Do not only as a co-host, you are only permitted to switch on your video, audio, and present, and close after your presentation. So beyond that, don't do anything on the platform. Everything is being recorded, including the activities as a co-host you will be doing. So whoever is violating the rules and regulations, they will be blocked permanently on the platform. So you will not get any opportunity in future to attend any of the events organized by us. So kindly strictly follow the instructions, because there will be a registration form which will be active throughout the session. Do not close that. Once, if you close that, again it cannot be raised, because the data will be lost. Again, everyone has to fill up the form. So don't create issues for all the participants and presenters on the platform. Be cautious whenever you are provided co-host permissions. Only restrict yourself to switch on your video, audio, and make presentation. And if any form appears, you can minimize it, don't close it. After your co-host permissions have been withdrawn, then you can close it. Yeah, Arif, you can unmute yourself, start your presentation, switch on your video with brief introduction.
Good evening, sir, and good evening all. I myself, Arif Yungkaibam, currently pursuing the Master of Science in Environmental Science at Central University of Himachal Pradesh. I am from Manipur, Imphal. Sir, please let me share my screen.
Do you have any PPT, ma'am?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can share your PPT from your system. Do you know how to share?
Sir, please give me time.
And all the participants, keep your PPT open in your system or device before making a request, so that we can save time. Have you opened PPT, ma'am?
Sir, please give me time.
You have to keep it ready, ma'am, before you make a request. Other presenters, kindly share your details. in the chat box. If you need more time, you can join once again after next presenter.
Okay, sir. I will do the next.
Okay, you keep it open in your system.
Okay.
So we will move on to our next presenter. Anash Khan, are you available? Yeah, now you can unmute yourself, start your video and presentation.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Anas Khan. I am from Manipur, and my topic is poster presentation about physiochemical parameters and phytoplankton diversity in Beas River, India.
Do you have PPT, ma?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, kindly open, keep it open so that we can save some time.
Okay, sir. Is there?
You have prepared poster.
Yes, sir. Poster presentation.
Okay. Okay, you can expand that so that it covers the entire screen. And now switch on your video. You can make little bit bigger.
Okay, sir.
Or you can use it. Now it's better.
Okay, sir. My topic is physiochemical parameter analysis and phytoplankton diversity in Beas River at Kangra district of Himachal Pradesh, India. Sir, can I start from introduction or?
Yeah, you start from starting to end. Complete. No need to worry.
Okay, sir. Beas River is a Indian origin river. It is originated from Himachal Pradesh, from small part of ice body known as Beas Kun on the eastern slope of Himalayan Rohtang Pass. It is 470-kilometer long river in North India that flows to Satluj River in Punjab. In ancient name, the Beas River is known as Bigru Tung in Himachal Pradesh. It also provides a way of living and economic development among the people of Himachal Pradesh, Punjab, Rajasthan, and also some state that passes through. It strengthens the growth and survival of many plants and animals. and also it is also a it also support irrigation and also many multi-purpose project. Phytoplanktons are also phytoplanktons are mostly algae. There are also called as water blooms with different algae-like organism forming free-floating community on water, which can also be divided into euplanktonophytes and tychoplanktonophytes. Euplanktonophytes are free-floating algae from initial, and tychoplanktonophytes are algae that free float after separation from substrate. Initially, it is attached to the stone or something hard object. It is a photosynthetic organism that serves as a primary producer of aquatic ecosystem and maintains the food web of the ecosystem, where sunlight acts as a major role for existence and reproduce. They provide key role in both ecological and economic importance, from which some of them are serve as food for aquaculture, role of microalgae in food industry, as raw material for cosmetic industry, and very useful in bioremediation for wastewater treatment, and also act as a source of renewable resource. Here is the picture of Bias River at Dherago people region. For conducting physiochemical parameter, the materials methodology used by me is for collecting phytoplankton. I use phytoplankton net, and the identification of the phytoplankton was done in university lab using microscope. The study of physiochemical parameter was conducted in 4 months from November 2023 to February 2024. The temperature was recorded using mercury thermometer at the spot. pH reading was using pH meter at university lab. Dissolved oxygen was done by redox titration using standard sodium thiosulfate as a titrant, and BOD by checking dissolved oxygen after 5 days of incubation, and both the initial and final readings were taken to check the BOD. Free carbon dioxide is done by titration with sodium hydroxide. Total hardness, calcium hardness is also done by titration with EDTA solution, and magnesium hardness is derived from the total hardness and calcium hardness, SCaCO3. Here is the results observed during 4 months. Observation is done at 3 regions of Dherago Pipur, Sanot, and Diara. All the parameters are permissible limit under BIS standard and World Health WHO standard. Here is the simple graph of the parameters of all the 3 regions. In month of November, total hardness is the maximum in all the parameters, while BOD is less. December also the same result is also observed in all 4 months, where temperature is lowest in month of January. and dissolved oxygen is also minimum. For phytoplanktons identification, majority of the phytoplanktons are from Bacillariophyceae that we also call that diatoms. Navicula, Cynedra, Pinularia, Fragillaria, Amphora, Cymbella and Cynedra are from Bacillariophyceae. Lotrix, Microspora, and Spirochera are from Chlorophyceae. Ficus, Euglena are from Euglenophyceae, and Microcystis is from Cyanophyceae. Here is the microscopic picture photograph of all the phytoplanktons. Conclusion. The study of analysis of 9 parameters, that is air temperature, water temperature, pH, dissolved oxygen, biological oxygen demand, free carbon dioxide total hardness, calcium and magnesium hardness were taken, and concluded that pH was basic in nature, which is under desirable limit for aquatic life and drinking. Dissolved oxygen, which affect planktonic growth, was under the permissible limit. Other parameters like BOD, free carbon dioxide, and total hardness, calcium hardness, magnesium hardness in all the regions were also desirable limit prescribed by BIS standard. Phytoplanktons belong to 4 classes, with Bacillariophyceae as majority, having 7 species: Diatoma, Navicula, Cynedra, Fragillaria, Amphora, Pinularia, and Cymbella, followed by Chlorophyceae, 4 species: Lutrix, Microspora, and Spirochera. Euglenophyceae, 2 species, Euglena and Ficus, and Cyanophyceae, 1 species, Microcystis. Most of them are observed in Sanwat, 11 species, and 9 species in Dehra Gopipur, and 7 species in Diara. It can be concluded that Beas River is favorable for irrigation and aquatic life, also for drinking after proper treatment. This is all about my poster presentation. Thank you.
Okay, congratulations, Ma. Kindly read your content before presenting so that the fluency will improve.
Okay, sir. Sir, this is my first time presenting in conference.
Yeah, that's why I'm giving you a suggestion from next time onwards. You read
Yes,
it 3-4 times as far as you are comfortable, right? So
okay,
that the
yes,
free
sir.
flow of words and sentences will come.
Okay, sir.
Anyway, congratulations for the first time you have presented, and we wish you all the success.
Thank you, sir.
So participants, if you have any queries, questions, suggestions, feel free to share in chat box or raise your hand. We can allow you. If there are none, then we'll move on to our next presenter. Amiya Kumar Das, do you have any topic presentation? You haven't shared your presentation topic. And Dr. Akash, you have only shared your topic, you haven't shared your details. Yeah, Arif, Now you can start your audio, video, and presentation. No?
Good evening, sir, and good evening all.
In the meanwhile, other speakers who are waiting for your presentations, share your details in chat box so that we can invite you. This is a format you have to share. It has been already informed in email as well. You have to mention your topic, name, occupation, organization, city, your place and duration in the chat box, all in one message. And as per the queue, as per the order of first come, first serve basis, we'll be inviting each speakers. So all the presenters in the conference who are awaiting for their presentations, kindly share your details in chat box in the specific format. Yeah, Arif, what happened?
Sir, screen share is not.
Hmm?
Can't share my screen.
Okay, no problem. You switch on your video and present your paper. Then you email your PPT later on along with your photograph. Introduce yourself and start your presentation.
Good evening all. I myself Arif Yung Khai currently pursuing the Master of Science in Environmental Science.
Presentation topic.
No need to show on screen, ma. You just present yourself orally. Arif?
Yari, suot ako ng utloy. Taparoy.
You continue, ma. Without PPT, continue, no problem.
Sir, sorry for the inconvenience and sorry. All good evening. All I myself, Arif Yungkaibung, currently pursuing the Master of Science in Environmental Science at Central University of Himachal Pradesh. I myself from the Imphal, Manipur. Today I am gonna do the presentation on the topic, the role of environmental impact assessment on conserving natural environment. We already know the importance of conserving importance of conserving the natural environment, but many of us and many of them doesn't know the role that play by the environmental impact assessment to conserve our environment. Today I'm gonna analyze the following point. The first, I'm gonna analyze the what is environmental impact assessment, and next, what are the objectives of that impact assessment, and then evolution and the history of environmental impact assessment, and then to the main part of this to this presentation, how environmental impact assessment conserve our natural environment, and then I'm gonna conclude with some point. First, we're gonna analyze the what is environmental impact assessment. Environmental impact assessment is the assessment of the environmental consequences of any plan, policy, development, project, program, or actual project prior to the decision to move the forward with the proposed action. That is, the environmental impact assessment is to be done prior to the proposed action. And then environmental impact assessment can be also defined as it is a tool used to assess the positive and negative environmental, economic, and social impact of a project. This is used to predict the environmental impact of a project pre-planning stages itself, and that decision can be taken off to reduce the adverse negative impact on our environment. EIA means EIA, environmental impact assessment is also shortly known as EIA. EIA plays a crucial role in conserving natural environment by assessing the potential environmental effect of the proposed project or the development before they are carried out. And now we're gonna analyze what are the objectives of the environmental impact assessment. There are the different kinds of objectives, importance, and functions of environmental impact assessment, but there is the four main objectives of environmental impact assessment. First objective is, as we can know from the name, environment, to promote the environment friendly and long-term growth. Second, to render detail of the environmental impact. Third point, to predict and evaluate the ecological growth, economic, and the social effects of growth and relative activities. And the fourth point is identification of legitimate option and mitigation measure. And now we are gonna analyze that point to promote environmental friendly long-term growth and to render the details of environmental impact. Impact can be of two types, that is the positive impact and the negative impact. We are gonna analyze mainly the negative impact to our environment. Here I'm gonna highlight the evolution and the history of EIA, how EIA come to this current stages, and how EIA was born. The birth of EIA is that back to the 1970s. In 1960s, USA brought the first National Environmental Policy Act, NEPA, 1969. After this Environmental Policy Act, we came to environmental impact assessment is evolving very slowly day by day after NEPA Act of 1969. EIA was initially practiced by the developed nation, but slowly it was also introduced in developing nation, including India. In India, we also have the environmental impact assessment of every proposed project. Colombia and Philippines are the earliest example of developing nation who introduced EIA in their policies. Worldwide, EIA is now practiced more than 100 countries. By the mid-1990s, some 110, that is 110 countries, apply EIA as the major environmental policy. In 1969, in 1989, in 1989, EIA was adopted as the major development project by the WELLBEING. Now we are going to analyze about the main content of this presentation, how EIA conserve natural environment. EIA conserve natural environment in various way, in many different way. Now, today I am gonna highlight the only 6 points, that is identifying potential impacts of the project, mitigation measures, public participation, legal compliance, promotion of sustainable development, and long-term environmental management. First, we are going to analyze about the identifying potential impact. EIA helps in identifying potential environmental impact of proposed project. That is the, for example, I am going to analyze that example, the road expansion project, which needs to be cutting tree or the destroying tree means that the natural environment or existing environment or habitat of that region is destroyed. So by the help of environmental impact assessment, we can analyze how this project can destroy the existing environment, such as the habitat destruction, air and water pollution, biodiversity loss of that area. And the next point is mitigation measure. EIA identifies measures to avoid, minimize, or mitigate adverse environmental impact. This can be include redesigning project. If we are conducting environmental impact assessment and the impact is too much negative impact to the environment, so we can redesign the project through the process of EIA. EIA can highlight the impacts. So mitigation measures can be taken up. This include redesigning projects, incorporating technology to reduce pollution, or implementing habitat restoration plan. Public participation. EIA encourages public participation, allowing stakeholders to voice concern suggestions regarding the project's environmental impact. This can lead to better informed decision making consideration of alternative approaches that may be more environmental friendly. Public participation is the part of environmental impact assessment. If we can raise our voice about the project, we can suggest that there must be more environmental friendly way. We can be suggest our opinions or ideas through the environmental impact assessment. Legal compliance. EIA ensure compliance with environmental regulations and law, helping to prevent projects that could harm sensitive ecosystem and endangered species. And then the fifth point is the promotion of sustainable development. This is the very important point. I guess EIA encourages sustainable development by ensuring that economic development proceeds in harmony with environmental conservation. It helps in identifying the opportunities for incorporating environmentally friendly practices into the project design. And now the last point is long-term environmental management plan. EIA contributes to the long-term management of the environment by assessing cumulative impact and suggesting measures for ongoing and monitoring management of environment effects even after the project completion. These are the six points I'm analyzing now. We are gonna do to the conclusion part. EIA environmental impact assessments serve as a vital role for integrating environmental consideration into developmental process, ultimately contributing to the conservation of the natural environment for the present and the future generation, not only about the present, but also for the future generation. By assessing environmental consequences before implementation, EIA helps in making informed decisions that prioritize conservation and sustainable development. Its effectiveness relies on thoroughness, transparency, adherence to the regulation, coupled with active involvement of stakeholders. The effectiveness of the environmental impact assessment relies on the transparency and thoroughness with active involvement of stakeholders. If the process is not thoroughness or transparency, the effectiveness is quite less. Continuous improvement adaptation of EIA approaches are the necessary to address emerging environmental challenges and ensure long-term conservation of the natural environment. Thank you all. This is my part for this presentation.
Congratulations, ma'am. This is the first presentation by you.
Yeah.
So you can also you can read it and do practice for a couple of times so that
Yes,
you
sir.
can be familiar with the words, and also the fluency will also increase. Okay.
Sir, actually, I am a stammerer, that's why.
Okay. So you have this stammering problem. Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, in spite of that, you put your best efforts. So
Yes, sir.
anyway, congratulations. And this is a very good topic. That's why, you could have used PPT. Kindly develop some basic technical skills, no? How to
Okay, sir.
use Zoom and other things. So that it will help you to understand, so that participant can easily understand with the figures and images and so. Anyway, congratulations. We wish you all the success. Very well
Thank you, sir.
presented. So participants, if you have any queries, feel free to share. Otherwise, we'll move on to our next presentation. You can switch off your audio and video, ma. You can mute yourself, Arif.
Yes, sir. Thank you all once again.
So then we'll move to Dr. Akash. Are you available? You can raise your hand. Jayashree, do you have any query? Yeah, Dr. Akash, now you can unmute yourself, start your video and presentation. In the meanwhile, others, quickly share your details in chat box. Otherwise, we'll move on to our commemorations, and after commemorations, there will be no presentations taken up, and we will close the session. So whoever is yet to be present, kindly utilize this opportunity. You are on the third slide, I think. You can move to first slide. Then adjust camera so that we can see the complete face. There is some window, pop-up window, I think, in front. You can close that. And now your PPT is visible. We can't hear you. Make sure your mic is working and your volume is set to maximum. We still can't hear you. If you are using any headphones or something like that, you can unplug and plug in, or you can remove them, or select the appropriate device in the settings. Near mic, you will find an arrow icon that you can select default audio. Inbuilt mic. You're still not audible. Or can you try from some other device? Make sure you are connected to proper audio. The options you can select same as system or built-in microphone. In the meanwhile, any other speakers? Kindly share your details in chat box. I think there is some audio issue at the speaker's end. We can't hear you. No, it's not audible. You can try from some other device if you have, or you can connect from your mobile as well and use audio from that device, and you can continue presenting PPT from laptop. You can try connecting from your mobile if you or from other device if you have. I think after this, there are no further presentations. We'll move on to commemorations. Today, we are also commemorating World Tuberculosis Day. So we will see in detail about tuberculosis. Today, we are also commemorating International Day for the rights to the truth concerning gross human rights violation and for the dignity of victims. And today, tomorrow being celebrated Holi, today we also have the ritual of Holika Dahan. So we will also commemorate that, celebrating virtually by remembering the ritual. Okay, then you can try fixing by yourself. We'll move on to commemorations. Then after that, we'll invite you. So in the meanwhile, if any others are there to make presentations, keep sharing in the chat box. We will move on to commemorations. So today is commemorated as World Tuberculosis Day. Every year on March 24th, we commemorate World TB Day by World Health Organization to raise public awareness about the devastating health, social and economic consequences of tuberculosis, in short known as TB, and to step up efforts to end the global TB pandemic. So this date marks the day in 1882 when Dr. Robert Koch announced that he had discovered the bacterium that causes TB, which opened the way towards diagnosis as well as the curing the disease. So the theme for this year, World TB Day 2024, is Yes, We Can End TB. Conveys message of hope and getting back on the track to turn the tide against the TB epidemic is possible through high-level leadership, increased investments, and faster uptake of new WHO recommendations. Following the commitment made by heads of the state of the UN high-level meeting in 2023 to accelerate progress to end TB, this year focus shifts on turning these commitments into tangible actions. To help the countries scale up access to TB preventive treatment, World Health Organization releases an investment case on scaling up the role of TB preventive treatment. 75 million lives saved since 2000 by global efforts to end TB. 10.6 million people fell ill with TB in 2022 itself. 1.3 million people died of TB in 2022. So World Health Organization adjusts investments for the scale-up of tuberculosis screening and preventive treatment. So following the commitments made by the heads of the state at the 2023 UN General Assembly high-level meeting, to accelerate progress to end TB, this year focus shifts to turning these commitments into tangible action. Sustainable investment of resources, support, care, and information are vital to ensure universal access to TB care and for research. This is especially critical to close gaps in care and ensure equitable access to prevention and care in line with World Health Organization's drive towards achieving universal health coverage. More investments towards supporting the rollout of World Health Organization recommended TB preventive treatment options, shorter TB treatment regimens, rapid molecular diagnosis, and tests for TB infection. Other innovations and digital tools will lead to the improvements in health outcomes and save millions of lives. Importantly, investments in research and innovation are vital to fast-track efforts to reach the end TB targets. Strengthening multi-sectorial engagement and accountability, ending TB requires concerned action by all sectors to provide the right services, support, and enabling safe environment in the right place at the right time. Poverty, inequity, undernutrition, comorbidities, discrimination, stigma are major drivers of TB epidemic. Tackling health inequalities to ensure health for all. People with TB are among the marginalized, vulnerable, and face barriers in accessing care. Who is calling for global action to address health inequalities for people with TB and other diseases. When we look back at the themes of World Tuberculosis Day since 2013, we can see the focus on different aspects of TB. In 2013, the theme for World Tuberculosis Day was Stop TB in My Lifetime. And the theme in 2014, The Missed 3 Million. The theme for 2015, Gear Up to End TB. Theme for 2016, Unite to End TB. Theme for 2017, Unite to End TB, Leave No One Behind. Theme for 2018, Wanted Leaders for a TB-free world. Theme for 2019, It's Time for Action. Theme for 2020, It's Time to End TB. Theme for 2021, The Clock is Ticking. And theme for 2022, Invest to End TB and Save Lives. And theme for 2023, Yes, we can end TB, which is the same theme for even 2024. Now we will look at various other aspects. First, we will look at what is TB. So TB or tuberculosis is caused by bacteria, Mycobacterium tuberculosis, and is most often affects the lungs. TB is spread through the air when people with lung TB cough, sneeze, or spit. A person needs to inhale only a few germs to become infected. Every year, 10 million people fall ill with tuberculosis, despite being a preventable and curable disease. 1.5 million die from TB each year, making it world's top infectious killer. TB is leading cause of death of people with HIV and also a major contributor in antimicrobial resistance. Most of the people who fall ill with TB live in low and middle income countries, but TB is present all over the world. About half of the people with TB can be found in 8 countries: Bangladesh, China, India, Indonesia, Nigeria, Pakistan, Philippines, and South Africa. About a quarter of global population is estimated to have infected with TB bacteria, but most people will not go on to develop TB disease, and some will clear the infection. Those who are infected but not yet ill with the disease cannot transmit it. So people infected with TB bacteria have a 5 to 10% lifetime risk of falling ill with TB. Those with compromised immune systems, such as people living with HIV, malnutrition, or diabetes, or people who use tobacco, have a higher risk of falling ill. So common symptoms of TB include prolonged cough, chest pain, weakness or fatigue, weight loss, fever, night sweats. Often these symptoms will be mild for many months, thus leading to delay in seeking care and increasing the risk of spreading the infection to others. If the healthcare provider suspects a patient to have TB diseases, they will send the patient for testing. In case of suspected lung TB disease, patients will be asked to give a sputum sample for testing for TB bacteria. For non-lung TB diseases, samples of affected body fluids and tissue can be tested. World Health Organization recommends rapid molecular diagnostic tests as initial tests for people showing signs and symptoms of TB. Other diagnostic tools can include sputum smear, microscopy, and chest X-rays. With TB infection, a person gets infected with TB bacteria that lie inactive in the body. This infection can develop into TB diseases if their immune system weakens. People with TB infection do not show any signs or symptoms of TB. To identify TB infection, healthcare providers will screen at-risk patients to rule out active TB, and they may use a skin or blood test to check for TB infection. Now, what is the treatment for TB? TB disease is curable, so it is treated by standard 6-month course of 4 antibiotics. Common drugs include rifampicin and isoniazid. In some cases, TB bacteria does not respond to the standard drugs. In this case, the patient has drug-resistant TB. Treatment for drug-resistant TB is longer and more complex. So these drugs, rifampicin and isoniazid, are commonly used for TB. The course of TB drugs is provided to the patient with information, supervision, and support by a health worker or a trained volunteer. Without such support, treatment adherence can be difficult. If the treatment is not properly completed, the disease can become drug resistant and can spread. In the case of TB infection, where the patient is infected with TB bacteria but not ill, TB preventive treatment can be given to stop the onset of disease. This treatment uses same drugs for a shorter time. Recent treatment options have shortened the duration to treatment to only 1 or 3 months as compared to 6 months in the past. So early detection is an important step in controlling, preventing TB. The Ending TB strategy is not just a public health program, but a global development challenge and opportunity. World Health Organization post-2015 End TB strategy, adopted by the World Health Assembly in 2014, aims to end global TB epidemic as part of newly adopted Sustainable Development Goals. It serves as a blueprint for countries to reduce TB incidence by 80%, TB deaths by 90%, and to eliminate catastrophic costs for TB-affected households by 2030. The strategy is not a one-size-fits-all approach, and its success depends on the adaptation for diverse country settings. 80% drop in new cases by 2030 is a strategy to end TB. 90% drop in the people dying of TB by 2030, and 100% of TB-affected families protected from catastrophic costs by 2030. So the resolution calls on government to adapt and implement the strategy with high-level commitment and financing. It focuses on serving populations highly vulnerable to the infection and poor healthcare access, such as migrants. The strategy and resolution both highlight the need to engage partners within the health sector and beyond, such as the fields of social protection, labor, immigration, and justice. World Health Organization will monitor implementation of the strategy and evaluate progress towards the milestones and 2035 targets. So let's, on this occasion, call for action. As a general public, educate yourself on TB causes, symptoms, and prevention. Don't believe in myths or misinformation. Stand up against TB stigma and discrimination. For ministries of health, TB program managers, and public health leaders, allocate resources to improve the quality of TB diagnosis, prevention, treatment, and care services, and make them more resilient and sustainable. Support and empower health workers to deliver high-quality TB services in line with World Health Organization recommendations. Ensure adequate training and up-to-date information sharing for health workers on the latest World Health Organization recommendations on TB services, incorporate essential TB services into routine health interventions, deliver care that is kind, respectful of human rights, and without stigma for health workers, for community leaders, ensure essential TB services are maintained in the community, support health workers to provide essential TB services in line with World Health Organization recommendations, combat stigma and discrimination to ensure that everyone feel safe to access TB services. For youth, sensitize youth people, encourage them to become a TB advocate, support TB patients in community with resources and advice. So as already mentioned, a total of 1.3 million died from TB in 2022, including 1,67,000 people with HIV worldwide. TB is the second leading infectious killer after COVID-19, above HIV and AIDS. In 2022, an estimated 10.6 million people fell ill with tuberculosis worldwide, including 5.8 million men, 3.5 million women, and 1.3 million children. TB is present in all countries and age groups. TB is curable and preventable. Multi-drug resistant TB, MDR-TB, remains a public health crisis and a health security threat. Only about 2 in 5 people with drug-resistant TB accessed treatment in 2022. Global efforts to combat TB has saved an estimated 75 million lives since the year 2000. US dollars 13 billion is needed annually for TB prevention, diagnosis, treatment, and care to achieve the global target agreed at the 2018 UN high-level meeting on TB. Ending the TB epidemic by 2030 is among the health targets of the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, SDGs. So tuberculosis, which is an infectious disease that most often affects the lungs, that is caused by a type of bacteria. It spreads through the air when infected people cough, sneeze, or spit. Tuberculosis is preventable and curable. As already mentioned, about a quarter of global population is estimated to have infected with TB bacteria. About 5 to 10% of people infected with TB will eventually get symptoms and develop TB disease. Those who are infected but not yet ill with the disease cannot transmit it. So TB disease is usually treated with antibiotics that can be fatal without treatment. In certain countries, the bacilli-calmette-guerin BCG vaccine is given to the babies or small children to prevent TB. The vaccine prevents TB outside of the lungs, but not in the lungs. People with latent TB infection don't feel sick, aren't contagious. Only a small proportion of people who get infected with TB will get TB disease and symptoms. Babies and children are at high risk. Certain conditions can increase a person's risk for tuberculosis disease. Diabetes, that is high blood sugar, weakened immune system, for example, HIV or AIDS, being malnourished, tobacco use, can increase risk of tuberculosis disease. Unlike TB infection, when a person gets TB disease, they will have symptoms. They might be mild for many months, so it is easy to spread TB to others without knowing it. Common symptoms of TB include prolonged cough, sometimes with blood, chest pain, weakness, fatigue, weight loss, fever, night sweats. The symptoms people get depend on where in the body TB becomes active. While TB usually affects the lungs, it also affects the kidneys, brain, spine, and also the skin. So now, to prevent TB, what we can be done? Follow these steps to help prevent tuberculosis infection and spread. Seek medical attention. If you have symptoms like prolonged cough, fever, and unexplained weight loss, or early treatment for TB can help stop the spread of disease and improve your chances of recovery. Get tested for TB infection if you are at increased risk, such as if you have HIV or in contact with the people who have TB in your household or in your workplace. If prescribed treatment to prevent TB, complete the full course. If you have TB, practice good hygiene when coughing, including avoiding contact with other people and wearing a mask covering your mouth and nose when coughing or sneezing, and disposing of sputum and used tissues properly. Special measures like respirators and ventilation are important to reduce infection in healthcare and other institutions. We'll resume in a minute. So World Health Organization recommends the use of rapid molecular diagnostic tests as an initial diagnostic test in all persons with signs and symptoms of TB. Rapid diagnostic tests recommended by World Health Organization include the Expert MTB, RAF Ultra, and TrueNet assays. These tests have high diagnostic accuracy and will lead to major improvements in the early detection of TB and drug-resistant TB. A tuberculin skin test, TST in short, or interferon gamma release assay, IGRA, can be used to identify people with infection. Diagnosing multi-drug resistant and other resistant forms of TB as well as HIV-associated TB can be complex and expensive. Tuberculosis is particularly different to diagnose in children. Tuberculosis disease is treated with antibiotics. Treatment is recommended for both TB infection and as well as the disease. The most common antibiotics used are isoniazid, rifampin, pyrazinamide, ethambutol, streptomycin. To be effective, these medications need to be taken daily for 4 to 6 months, and it is dangerous to stop the medications early or without medical advice. This can allow TB that is still alive to become resistant to the drugs. So, whenever you find these symptoms within yourself or among anyone around, kindly advise them or take them to the medical professional who is expert in TB. So they will guide them and do the assessment, screening and assessment, and accordingly prescribe medicines and also the duration, the course of medicines. So tuberculosis that doesn't respond to standard drugs is called drug-resistant TB and requires more toxic treatment with different medicines. So multi-drug resistant TB emerges when TB medicines are used inappropriately through incorrect prescription by healthcare providers, poor quality drugs, or patients stopping treatment prematurely. Multi-drug resistant tuberculosis, in short known as MDR-TB, is a form of TB caused by bacteria that do not respond to isoniazid and rifampicin, the two most effective first-line TB drugs. So MDR-TB is treatable and curable by using second-line drugs. However, second-line treatment options require extensive medicines that are expensive and as well as toxic. So antibiotics, or for that matter, any medicine should not be consumed regularly as the body might develop resistance to them. In some cases, more extensive drug resistance can help or develop TB caused by bacteria that do not respond to the most effective second-line TB drugs can leave patients with a limited treatment options. Even certain patients cannot be treated effectively with second-line TB drugs. MDR-TB remains a public health crisis and a health security threat. Only about 2 in 5 people with drug-resistant TB access treatment in 2022. In accordance with World Health Organization guidelines, detection of MDR-RR-TB requires bacteriological confirmation of TB and testing for drug resistance using rapid molecular tests or cultural methods. In 2022, new World Health Organization guidelines prioritize a 6-month regimen, the BPALM and BPAL, as a treatment of choice for eligible patients. The shortened duration, lower pill burden, and high efficiency of this novel regimen can help ease the burden on health systems and save precious resources to further expand the diagnostic and treatment coverage for all individuals in need. In the past, MDR-T8 treatment used to last for at least 9 months and up to 20 months. World Health Organization recommends expanded access to all oral regimens. People living with HIV are 16, uncertainly interval 14 to 18 times more likely to fall ill with TB disease than people without HIV. TB is leading cause of death among people with HIV. HIV and TB form a lethal combination, each spreading the other's progress, speeding up each other's progress. Without proper treatment, 60% of HIV negative people with TB on average and nearly all HIV positive people with TB will die. In 2022, about 160,000 people died of HIV-associated TB. The percentage of notified TB patients who had a documented HIV result in 2022 was 80%, up from 76% in 2021. The World Health Organization African region has the highest burden of HIV-associated TB. Overall, in 2022, only 54% of TB patients known to be living with HIV are on antiretroviral therapy, in short known as ART. So World Health Organization recommends a 12-component approach of collaborative TB HIV activities, including actions for prevention and treatment of infection and disease to reduce deaths. Tuberculosis mostly affects adults in their most productive years. However, all age groups are at risk. Over 80% of the cases and deaths are in low and middle income countries. TB occurs in every part of the world. In 2022, the large number of new TB cases occurred in World Health Organization, Southeast Asian region, 46%, followed by African region, 23%, and the Western Pacific, 18%. Around 87% of new TB cases occurred in the 30 high TB burden countries, with more than 2/3 of the global total in Bangladesh, China, Democratic Republic of the Congo, India, Indonesia, Nigeria, Pakistan, and the Philippines. Globally, about 50% of the TB patients and their households face total cost direct medical expenditures. Non-medical expenditures and indirect costs such as income losses that are catastrophic, 20% of the total household income, far from the World Health Organization and TB strategy target of zero. Those with compromised immune systems, such as people living with HIV, undernutrition or diabetes, or people who use tobacco, have a higher risk of falling ill. Globally, in 2022, there were 2.2 million new TB cases that were attributable to undernutrition, 0.89 million to HIV infection, 0.73 million to alcohol use disorders, 0.70 million to smoking, and 0.37 million to diabetes. So US $13 billion are needed annually for TB prevention. Diagnosis, treatment, and care to achieve global targets agreed on at UN high-level TB meeting. So as in the past decade, most of the spending on TB services in 2022, 80% was from domestic sources. In low and middle income countries, international donor funding remains crucial. The main source is the Global Fund to fight AIDS, tuberculosis, and malaria, the Global Fund. The United States government is the largest contributor of funding to the Global Fund and also the largest bilateral donor. For research and development, according to the Treatment Action Group, only US $1 billion were available in 2022 of the US $2 billion required per year. To accelerate the development of new tools, at least an extra US $1 billion per year is needed to accelerate the development of new tools. So World Health Organization is working closely with countries, partners, and civil society in scaling up the TB response. 6 core functions are being pursued by World Health Organization to contribute to achieving the targets of the UN high-level meeting: political declaration, sustainable development goals, end TB strategy, and World Health Organization strategic priorities. So providing global leadership to end TB through strategy and development, political and multi-sectorial engagement, strengthening review and accountability, advocacy and partnerships, including civil society, shaping the TB research and innovation agenda, and stimulating the generation, translation, and dissemination of knowledge, setting norms and standards on TB prevention and care, and promoting and facilitating their implementation, developing and promoting ethical and evidence-based policies for TB prevention and care, ensuring the provision of specialized technical support to member states and partnerships jointly with WHO regional and country offices, catalyzing change and building sustainable capacity, and monitoring and reporting on the status of the TB epidemic and progress in financing and implementation of responses at global, regional, and country levels. So today we are also commemorating International Day for the Right to Truth concerning gross human rights violation for the dignity of victims, which is commemorated on every year on 24th March. The right to the truth is often invoked in the context of gross violations of human rights and grave breaches of the humanitarian law. The relatives of victims of summary executions, enforced disappearance, missing persons, abducted children, torture, require to know what happened to them. The right to the truth implies knowing the full and complete truth as to the events that transpired, their specific circumstances, and who participated in them, including knowing the circumstances in which the violation took place and as well as the reasons for them. Each year, on 24th March, the International Day for the Right to Truth concerning gross human rights violations and for the dignity of victims is observed. The annual observance pays tribute to the memory of Monsignor Oscar Arnulfo Romero, who was murdered on 24th March 1980. He was actively engaged in denouncing violations of the human rights on the most vulnerable individuals in El Salvador. So the purpose of this day is to honor the memory of victims of gross and systematic human rights violations and promote the importance for the right to truth and injustice right to truth and justice, pay tribute to those who have devoted their lives to and lost their lives in the struggle, and protect human rights for all, recognize in particular the important work and values of Archbishop Oscar Arnulfo Romero of El Salvador, who was assassinated on 24th March 1980 after denouncing violations of the human rights of the most vulnerable population and defending the principles of protecting lives, promoting human dignity, and opposition to all forms of violence. On 21st December 2010, the United Nations General Assembly proclaimed March 24th as the International Day for the Rights of the Truth concerning gross human rights violation for the dignity of victims. The date was chosen because on 24th March 1980, Archbishop was assassinated after denouncing violations of human rights. In a study conducted in 2006, the Office of the UN High Commissioner for Human Rights concluded that the right to truth about gross human rights violation and serious violations of human rights law is inalienable and autonomous rights linked to the duty and obligation of the state to protect and guarantee human rights, to conduct effective investigation, and to So the study affirms the right to truth implies knowing the full and complete truth as to the events that transpired, their specific circumstances, and who participated in them, including knowing the circumstances in which violations took place as well as the reasons for them. In a 2009 report on the right to truth, the Office of the UN High Commissioner for Human Rights identified best practices for the effective implementation of this right. In particular, practice relating to archives and records containing gross violations of human rights and programs on the protection of witnesses and other persons involved in trials connected with each such violations. The Commission on the Truth for El Salvador, El, El Salvador was established in accordance with the Mexico Agreements of 27 April 1991 to investigate serious acts of violence that has occurred since 1980 and whose impact on society was deemed to require an urgent public knowledge of the truth. In its report of 15th March 1993, the Commission documented the facts of the assassinated of Archbishop Oscar by pro-government forces, the so-called death squads. He was first shot dead by assassin as he could celebrate Mass on 24th March 1980. Today is also commemorated as International Day for Achievers, which is a global celebration dedicated to honoring people who have achieved extraordinary feats in their chosen fields of specialization. This day celebrates distinguished figures who have displayed determination and commitment and have contributed in their own ways, no matter how small or insignificant it may seem, to improve the life of others. Contrary to popular belief, International Day for Achievers is not just a day to honor celebrities and the influential. Rather, it is a day to pay tribute to relatively unknown achievers who had been impactful and inspiring in their communities. These achievers may be environmentalists, scientists, politicians, teachers, social workers, civil servants, and many others who have used their intelligence, courage, selflessness, creativity to make the world a better place. Even outstanding students may be honored too. On this day, anyone, regardless of their age, gender, social status, level of education, or race, who have undertaken any innovative or unique feat in any sphere of life, may be presented a medal, certificate, prize, or any other award to celebrate their efforts and also inspire others to go extra mile. So significantly, International Day for Achievers does not only celebrate the achievers or geniuses, it also serves as a day to reward them tangibly, especially through cash prizes. Also, it serves as a medium to tell the world that good causes are worth pursuing. Even when it seems as nobody notices, noble deeds are worth celebrating, and the kind, courageous ones deserve to be honored. Dear presenters, if anyone is awaiting for their presentation, kindly share their details in chat box. The following details, as you can see, on the screen. So, Dr. Akash, are you ready with your presentation? Now, have you fixed your technical glitches? You can respond using chat box so that we can allow you. Okay. If Akash is not ready, we'll move on to next presenter. So we have with us Devanshi Chopra. You can unmute yourself, start your audio, video, and presentation now. Devanshi Chopra.
So, am I audible?
Yes, ma. You can switch on your video as well.
Thank you, sir. Just give me a minute. Is my screen visible?
Yes, ma. Please continue.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for giving me this esteemed opportunity to present myself today. I'm Devanshi Chopra. I'm from Amity University, Noida. The topic of my presentation is the relationship between cognitive failures and decision-making abilities in emerging females in college setting. Today, I'm thrilled to dwell into significant aspect of cognitive psychology and decision-making within our academic context. Our focus is on understanding nuanced relationship in between cognitive failures and decision-making among the women. This demographic faces unique challenges that makes the study not only relevant but crucial. In the realm of positive cognitive psychology, cognitive failures refer to those moments when our memory, attention, or action doesn't perform as expected. These are common experiences but can vary significantly in frequency and impact among individuals. These common experiences for college-age women, these cognitive lapses, occur in contexts filled with decision about academics, career paths, personal life, making decision abilities crucial for navigating in these years successfully. Our aim is to explore how these cognitive failures finds a relationship with the decision-making abilities, specifically in emerging females in college settings. We hypothesize that high frequency of cognitive failure would correlate to lower decision-making abilities, particularly affecting rational and intuitive decision making style. To investigate this, we employed a stratified sampling and convenience sampling to select representative sample of 77 age college-going females, ensuring diversity in majors, years of study, and background. Our inclusion criteria focused on full-time female undergraduate 18 to 25 years age, while excluded those diagnosed with cognitive or neurological condition to maintain focus on typically developmental challenges. We measured cognitive failures using standardized questionnaire that assesses forgetfulness, distractibility, and other lapses in cognitive function. Decision-making abilities were evaluated through scenarios designed to elicit rational and intuitive decision-making style. Our research design was correlational, allowing us to capture a snapshot of relation between cognitive failures and decision-making abilities at a single point in time. Our analysis revealed nuanced findings that significantly contribute to understanding of cognitive failures and decision-making. Notably, we found that a strong positive correlation between forgetfulness and distractibility R equals to 0.694 Pearson, that is more than 0.01. This suggests that individuals experiencing high level of forgetfulness are also more prone to distractibility. These results are consistent with the findings of Thompson et al. 2017, which correspond similar patterns in cognitive lapses among university students. Emphasis on interconnected nature of cognitive failures. Moreover, a significant negative correlation emerged between forgetfulness and rational decision-making, implying that as instances of forgetfulness increase, the propensity for rational decision-making decreases. This aligns with the work of Gracia et al. 2020, who found that cognitive overload can impair the ability to process information logically, leading to less rational decision-making. Interestingly, we also observed a weak positive correlation between distractibility and intuitive decision-making style. This suggests that individuals more susceptible to distractions may rely more heavily on intuition rather than deliberate reasoning when making decisions. Finding echoes the research by Martin and Rubin, 1995, which proposed that under certain circumstances, such as increased cognitive load, individuals might default to more intuitive decision-making process. Our research extended to the dialogue on cognitive failures and decision-making by providing empirical evidence specific to emerging adults, female in college setting. These observed correlational offer deeper insight into how cognitive failure can sway the balance between rational and intuitive decision-making. This particularly relevant in the light of decision-making, as mentioned by Peters et al. 2014, who highlighted the adaptive role of intuitive decision-making under uncertainty. Our studies suggest that cognitive failures might inadvertently push individuals relying on intuition, a shift that can have both positive and negative implications depending on the context. Our findings also contribute to the body of knowledge on cognitive psychology by illustrating this relationship. They call for closer examination of mechanism underlying relationship and development of targeting in intervention to support effective decision making. While our study provides significant insights, impossible to acknowledge its limitation. The correlational study design limits our ability to infer causality or track changes over the time. Future research should consider longitudinal studies to understand how these relationships evolve. The limited size and diversity also finds one of the limitations of my study. Additionally, our study opens the door for future exploration into intervention that can effectively reduce cognitive failures and improve decision making, not just academic context, but in personal life management as well. In conclusion, the relationship between cognitive failures and relationship between decision-making abilities in emerging female in college settings is complex and significant. Our studies contribute to a growing body of knowledge that underscores the need of targeted support and intervention. Thank you all for this opportunity and the time for sharing my findings. I'm eager to engage with questions and insights.
Congratulations, Devanshi. Very well presented, and we wish you all the success.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you for this opportunity.
Participants, if you have any queries, you can share your feedback, suggestions, and any clarifications in chat box, or you can raise your hand so that we can unmute yourself, if any. Okay, if there are no further queries, then we can move on to next presenter. Once again, congratulations.
Thank you, sir.
So, Dr. Akash, are you ready with your presentation? Okay, then if there are among the participants, if anyone is interested to present, quickly share your details. So if there are no more presenters, then we will conclude it here. And tomorrow is the last day for all the presenters who have registered to make presentations. And after that, there will be no opportunity. as we are concluding on day after tomorrow, that is Tuesday. And on that day, only invited speakers, presentations will be there. So finally, before closing, happy Holi to one and all, and use only natural colors, organic colors, eco-friendly colors. Don't use all synthetic colors, and especially be careful with animals. Don't put all these synthetic colors on yourself and as well as animals, because they cause a lot of skin infections, and it's not easy also to remove those colors from animals especially. And today a ritual is also celebrated as part of Holi, Holika Dahan, which is also called as, festival of colors. Actually, this is also a traditional festival which is known as Vasantotsavam. It's a similar festival which is celebrated mostly in North India, but now it has spread across the nation and also in other countries as well. So the date of this festival varies each year as it is determined by the Indian lunar calendar, but however is celebrated during the first full moon in March, which is usually between March 7th to March 28th. So this day celebrates the triumph of good over evil and commemorates the story of Prahlada and Holika from Indian ancient scriptures and folklore with bonfires and dancing. This day is celebrated as an auspicious day. In the evening, the celebration continues to the next day with splash play, which involves throwing color powder and color water on each other, which is called or celebrated as Holi. So on this day, relationships are mended and created as the start of spring season commences. And Holika Dahan also marks the first day of Holi celebration. Fires are set up around the nation at various places to prepare for the ritual that involves a large group of people who come together for this ritual, who sing and dance harmoniously around a burning effigy. The fire symbolizes the eradication of an evil spirit and begins in the evening as soon as the full moon is out. The procession is a reenactment of the story of Holika and her nephew Prahlad. Prahlad's father, Hiranyakashipu, was a great king who received powers from deity. He could not be hurt or killed by anything, anyone, anywhere. Thus, he assumed the position of God and demanded everyone worship him. Although the people followed the suit, the king's very own son did not worship him, his father, because he was staunch devotee of Supreme Being, Lord Sri Mahavishnu. The blatant disregard caused Hiranyakashipu with great anger, so he sought to kill his son, Prahlada. After many failed attempts, the king decided to ask his sister, Holika, immune to fire, for help. Holika was given the task to lure Prahlad into burning fire, leading to Prahlad's death. To their dismay, the plan did not go as anticipated because Lord Vishnu intercepted, and Vishnu rescued Prahlad, and Holika burned in the fire despite her immunity. So this earned Lord Sri Mahavishnu the title the protector of God, and he protected his devotee from his evil aunt. Holika Dahan is followed by fun festivities the next day with water splashing, painting with color powder, and lot of snacks and savories, sweets, and get-togethers. Devotees find solace in Lord Sri Mahavishnu, and others participants pay tribute to Prahlad Shir's bravery and trust. So this day is also used to reconcile and reflect on life and relationships. And this day symbolism has traveled across borders, as now it is celebrated by almost everyone in India and worldwide. It is widely seen in the countries like South Africa, Europe, Australia, and the United States in a grand manner. So on this occasion, we request everyone to use natural, organic, eco-friendly colors only, which can be prepared from various flowers, fruits, vegetables, by drying them, by processing them, and using that, you can mix in water or you can make powder and use that color, which is safe for not only human beings, for animals as well. And it also easily can be washed. So the color and the water comes from the playful ways of Krishna. Lord Sri Krishna was afraid that Radha would not like him because of his color. So his mother advised him to paint Radha's face with the color of his choice, and it turns out Radha liked him blue or green. So that's how one of the legend that how we started playing with colors. Of course, there are various other legends behind it. And this special festival also has a lot of sweets, snacks, and savories, like popular holy snacks like gujia, fried dumplings, malpua, pancakes, kachori, barfi, and many other sweets, savories, and snacks. This festival is not just about color, but also sharing, caring, and loving. So celebrate this festival with natural, eco-friendly, and organic colors, with lots of cultural and entertainment activities which embrace the relationships among us. And this also marks the arrival of spring, the love of Radha and Krishna, and the staunch devotion of Bhakta Prahlada, and also many other aspects as discussed. Krishna, Lord Sri Krishna, who is blue in complexion, is often assumed to be the god of holy due to his color. In actually, his color comes from a poison which he has ingested that made him blue in color. And in the Brag region in India, Holi is celebrated for 16 days, and water is considered essential for Holi celebration. And in this week, we also commemorated World Water Day. So we request everyone to be conscious, do not waste precious water. Use water, celebrate festival. There is nothing wrong in celebrating festival, but use water consciously. So it is important that festivals are to be celebrated. But a conscious efforts has to be put in celebrating festivals and performing rituals. And this day also marks an intoxicant drug or a drink. In fact, the local Indian drink popularly served during Holi contains cannabis and may have other effects if consumed too much, which is popularly known as bhang. So beware of that. Generally, it is not that widely consumed. Nowadays, people are very conscious, but be aware of that. It can have a lot of side effects. So happy Holika Dahan to each and everyone, and happy Holi to all of you. So we have Pradeep with us, so we can take one more session, presentation. And in the meanwhile, if no one joins, then we can close the sessions. And tomorrow, as informed, would be the last day for presentations. Those who would like to make presentations, make sure that you utilize tomorrow. Yeah, Pradeep, now you can unmute yourself, start your audio, video, and presentation. Pradeep, you got disconnected, I think. Anyone else would like to make any presentations? Kindly share it in chat box so that we can invite you. And the feedback form has also been raised in the Zoom. You can fill up the feedback form. So dear friends, we are waiting for Pradeep to connect back. After this session, we'll conclude. Kindly wait for another 5 minutes. We'll see. Otherwise, we'll come. Pradeep, you can unmute yourself, start your presentation.
Ravindra sir, hello.
Yes, ma, Pradeep.
Sir, I'm sorry for the delay, sir. There was a terrible network connection.
Okay, ma, please continue.
Yeah, I'm sharing my screen, sir. Hope my screen is visible to everyone. Hello, everyone. Myself Pradeep, and I work as an animal advocate uh, from the past 8 years. So today I'm going to talk about companion animals. So before going to the topic, I wish you everyone a happy Holi. I just want to play a small video about like how Holi affects animals. So that was a video. Like today is actually Holi. So as Ravindra sir has already explained about much of the detail which I was about to present. So most of the times during the Holi festival, animals, especially dogs, like they have a lot of like when we splash the colors on the animals, so like they get sunburn, like rashes, and also skin infection problems. So it takes a lot of time for them to heal. So if you can see in this video, like this video was actually shared from the Pathankot police station. I mean Pathankot police. So they have raised an awareness like how the Holi affects animals and how we need to celebrate the festival. Uh, like Ravindra sir has told about we need to use natural colors, not the organic colors, and we need to celebrate this festival with joy and love and compassion. So that was the video, and let me go through the presentation without getting delay. I'm so sorry. There was a lot of technical glitch. So that's the reason I'm facing a problem network issues. Apologize for that. So what are companion animals? So companion animals are nothing but the animals which we used to like treat them as a family. So normally we call it as cats and dogs. Of course, there are legally protections to other animals too, but mostly we restrict to dogs and cats. So I hope everyone likes dogs, right? From the participants, everyone likes dogs, right? Dogs or cats. Anyone from the participants? So we see a lot of the times we like dogs and like funny videos and also in the like pets we see that they are the natural stress busters and many of the unique benefits we are having a pet will reduce the stress and it also gives us sense of responsibility that we need to do. So likewise, now I'm going to talk about the responsible pet ownership. So getting a pet itself is not sufficient, but we need to take care of them, their well-being, such as there are some foods which need to give for their pets. Like these are the foods which we need to. There are two sides of the column. One is the foods which we need to give to the pets, and the other side is the foods which we should avoid them, like for foods such as peanut butter. So you can give completely the peanut butter. It's a protein based and moreover it has that. And chicken, of course, we actually have some restrictions, but for the dogs and other animals, they are canines, so we can absolutely give them. That too by boiling them and also adding a pinch of turmeric, so that it will turmeric has some medical things, medical benefits. So it will prevent from the infections and all. Pumpkin seeds you can give it, and yogurt, which is a protein source, and broccoli, oatmeal, and salmon fish. Also, which also gives protein-based food for the dogs. And low-fat cheese, not high fat and all. And carrots are very much protein source, and eggs also one of the protein source for their dogs. On the other sides, which we could not give them is like the where the foods often like we eat. Sometimes what actually happens is pet dogs will come and like they stare at us and there seems to be they want us to like give some food to us, but that that was the time the time to love you, but you should not give the certain foods which are extremely harmful for them, such as avocados, cherries, and grapes, chocolates, mushrooms, tomatoes, and such things. And at the same time, the second foremost thing is ensure that when you get a pet, till once they attain the age of 45 days, if it's a puppy, once you get an age of 45 days, make sure that you get your pup a deworm and provide all the necessary vaccinations as suggested by the veterinarian doctor. Ideally, the vaccination will be a 7-in-1 vaccination and also anti-rabies, which normally the vets will administer. And get the third most thing is get your pet dog license. Nowadays it is much more important because there is a different states have their municipal acts. So there might be a chance that municipal authorities will tow away your pet dog if you don't get a pet dog license. So it is as simple as that. Many of the states, I see that diversified participants over there. So we can contact the local municipal corporation. They will explain the formalities like how to apply for the pet dog. uh, Firstly, you need to get all the vaccination record and immunization for your pet, and you need to get permissions from your neighborhood, like about your pet and all, how it is behaving and all. So if that is fine, the veterinary officer from the concerned jurisdiction, whichever area, maybe it's a metropolitan city or anyone, they will come and inspect your place, and then accordingly they will issue the license. The price and everything will be varying from 50 rupees to maybe 500 rupees, depending upon the municipal municipal I mean to the state, it may varies. City to city it varies. So you can check with the your municipal websites, and also you can contact to your local municipal corporation toll-free numbers. So they will be happy to assist you with that. And the other thing is always put your dog on leash while you are taking your dog for a walk. We see a lot of calls getting from that our dog got missed, our dog got has been lost. It's just because of the pet parents. They actually forgot that they might think that our dog will come back. But sadly, the dogs are like uh, they just, if you see any dogs like, or if you see any rat or any other they will like to chase. So in that process they get lost. So it is always advisable you put a leash when you take your dog for a walk, and also at the same time you have to be with your dog. You should have to be it's something like you have to supervise your dog when you are taking for your dog. It will be both way beneficial. You'll get your exercise because you're very morning you go to for a walk, right? So you will get exercise and your dog will also get exercise, and you will have a new energies to continue your day walk. And fourth thing is don't put your dog in unhygienic and filthy conditions. It's okay that sometimes you may have your work priorities and everything, but at the same time, you just see that maybe you can and like you can something, if you are in a family kind of if you have a large family and all, take a roles base. And I mean to say, uh, if you will based on your work conditions and then you tell to your family, so that if you are if in your absence they will take care of it, but don't neglect them, because it is also a violation of law under Prevention of Cruelty to Animals Act. You cannot keep an animal in a, you cannot, it's a dog, I understand it. Most of the time nowadays they are keeping as a family members, but certainly we see that a lot of the times when you see any cruelty cases and all, it's very horrible that tie the dog with a soaring sun, and they'll leave it with a bowl of like unhygienic condition, the food and also surrounding areas. So it is always advisable maintain your dog in a very hygienic condition. And also, as I mentioned about the three more significant details, get your pet dog license, and also always ensure that your dog is on leash while you take for a walk. And most of the times in human, sorry, yeah. So most of the times we hear about the world called human and dog conflict. The problem is with the how we need to interact with the animals, the animal behavior, which we matters a lot. Here are the few basic tips that I mean do's and don'ts, which you need to be followed when you are like when you are with a dog, especially. The first one foremost thing is don't disturb the dog when they are sleeping. See, when we as a human beings, if suddenly someone comes and wakes us, we get irritated, right? So similarly, for a dog also, it happens. So they will get irritated, they may get annoyed. So in that case, there might be a chance that you may get bitten. And at the same time, you can see in the picture that a person is very close to the face of a dog. Imagine if you are having a very close face with a human being. See how they will feel. They feel awkward, right? They will also feel that, oh, what is this person is trying to do? So similarly, when it comes to an animal, especially dogs, canines, they have this behavioral aspect. So what they will do is like they will not feel comfortable. Either they will give you a bath to telling you that, hey, I'm not comfortable with you with this. Please avoid this in their language. And third most thing is when you meet any new dog. Imagine when you are meeting any new person, right? So we will always say that like first we observe that whether person is willing to communicate or not. So certain parameters, everything will be there, right? So in the dogs, I mean canine world also, there are certain things. Whenever we meet a new dog, you first and foremost thing is uh, observe the dog body language. Like most of the dogs, if they have a wagging tail or and most of them they come and sense you first through their smell. So with this smell only they will sense it, and at the same time, if they are allowing to touch, that means if they are okay, then only you have to go. Not every dog will be a friendly dog. There are also certain dogs which may not be comfortable with the humans. So you have to be very careful with that, and don't touch a dog while they are eating, especially the footballs and everything, because they may get they have this tendency called as a protective. Even it comes with their family members or owners also. So if someone comes and imagine if the dog is eating the food and all, you suddenly snap away its bowl. What will happen is it may get bit. It may give you a bite because it's having a some territorial thing. What we call as it will mark its territory. So this is my football, and why should I have to allow someone else to take it away? So they will mark it their territorial. So it is always advisable when you give a food to your dog, let him have it. He or she have the food and never disturb it while it is having its food. And do and for fifth most thing is do be calm and quiet around dogs. Dogs are very smart, and they are also like they can observe your body language, like who is frightened, who is notorious, who is anxious. So each and everything they observe from your body language. So always when your dog approaches you, you stand like a tree and be like a calm. It will come and sense you the smell, and it will automatically, if it's a friendly dog, it's a wagging tail dog, it will anyway be friendly with you. If it's an aggressive or not approachable dog, it will sense your smell and it will go away. And the sixth foremost thing is don't touch a dog you don't know, especially when it comes to the owner dog. Always ask the owners first. Hey, how is your dog? Is it as an approachable one? Is it a friendly one? Is it okay to touch? So, so most of the time, this is a problem which happens, especially kids. They will go and tease the dog, and especially with the owner dog or even a community dog also. They pet stones and all. They don't know like how to behave with the animals. This is the main problem which arises with the main creates a problem of human and dog conflict, and majority of the dog bites are happening because of what we call as provoked dog bites. That means if someone goes and irritate you, you'll get angry, right? Similarly, in the canine world, The dogs also get angry, they will get agitated. In that process, they may bite you. And lastly, don't go near a dog that is growling or barking at you. It is strictly saying that don't come to me, I'm angry. Hey, this is my space. Like how we as a humans we tell to other other friends or family members, like when you are angry, right? Please don't disturb me. I'm very busy. I'm little bit I'm not in a good mood to talk with you. We'll talk to you later. Similarly, a dog when it is growling at you, when it is barking at you, it is almost you have to understand. It's a signal that is giving a signal that you should never approach them, never go to that dog, because it may bite you. So I'm going to play a video like when you mostly like about rabies. We talk about rabies, why it is affecting, how it affects. Okay, just to give you a minute. Yeah. Sorry, this having a problem. Rabies is a zoonotic disease which actually affects from any warm-blooded animals. That means not only dogs, bats, and also any warm-blooded animals. It may be possible to get rabies. So a lot of the times in India, especially, we see dog canine rabies. So most of the things has happened because of the unvaccinated dogs. So most of the time the victims will be children below the age of 15 years and also the elderly people, and that means old age people, because most of the times children are with out of curiosity they will go and touch every dog, and they don't know about the condition of the animal, how it behaves and all. So that's the reason we actually go to the schools and colleges and we explain them the animal behavior, which is very much essential. So in order to protect from the dog bites and also to understand how the animal will behave, and accordingly we can be compassionate also, which is very much essential. But we need to know about how it behaves. Then only you can able to protect yourself. So here are the few things we how a human and dog conflict can be prevented. So one foremost thing is through community participation. So, so if you belong to any community and all, pair up with your fellow neighborhood like fellow. I mean to say, pair up with neighborhood people, whether it's maybe an animal or it may be walking towards like welfare of the community. You can start doing a census first, like how many dogs are will be there, how many animals are like how many dogs and puppies are there. So just take a piece of paper and write the number of dogs and number of puppies are there. So in accordingly, after once the census has been done, you can have a talk with your, if you have a local animal welfare organization, you can speak with the local animal welfare organization. Maybe you can ask them to come to your place, vaccinate them. You can choose a community school most of the time. It is weekends and all most of the time. Yeah, any community ground. You can organize some vaccination camps. So that for the pet owners and also the community dogs. So in that way, if you are vaccinating 70% of the dogs, it will prevent rabies, which is a zoonotic disease. And at the same time, providing food and water for the community dogs is very much essential. Sometimes what happens is dogs get lack of food and water will be aggravates them. So this is one of the foremost reason dog bites occur. So maybe you can put a bowl of water or put a bowl of food for them so that it will prevent from hunger and also they quench their thirst. And always you can sterilize the community dogs. Once you do the census, as I mentioned, if you can once the census has been done, you can contact the local animal welfare organization. You can, in options of local animal welfare organization, you can contact the local municipality. If you stay in a village also, you can contact the local panchayat. So they will also help you to get your dogs sterilized. Remember, the dog conflict is, or human and dog conflict is, we created it. It's not the dog's problem. So if we can collaboratively work towards that, you can end the human and dog conflict, and thereby you can create a sustainable world for both humans and animals, ending the very zoonotic diseases and epidemic diseases like the rabies, and achieving the good health and well-being as per Sustainable Development Goal number 3. With that, I'm ending my presentation. Thank you. Thanks a lot, Ravindra sir, for so patiently helping me out. And also, I'm very sorry for being so late. There is a technical issue. And thanks a lot, everyone, participants, for being so supportive. Thank you. Over to you, Ravindra sir.
Thank you, Pradeep, for your insightful presentation on companion animals. So let's all celebrate the joy of having pets with compassion and taking care of them. Hope you have got insights into companion animals and care. If anyone have any queries, you can unmute yourself, ask, or you can share in chat box, or you can raise your hand so that we can allow you for providing oral feedback. Okay, I think the presentation was so simple that there is no further queries. So thank you once again, everyone. So before concluding, I would like to give some information on making these organic colors at home. As we have seen one video where it demonstrates using food colors. But what if we don't have any food colors with us, food grade colors? Even that is also somewhat chemical in nature. We can observe our environment, trees, plants, flowers around in our locality or around our house, and take those, collect those, and dry it overnight, because tomorrow is holy. Even nowadays we have this summer season. So overnight also the temperatures are high, unless and until where the entire place is air conditioned, you can leave it outside or in the open area. Let them dry, the leaves or flowers or roots or barks, whatever you find of different colors, collect them and let them be dry and make powder and use it. If you want to use dry colors as powders, you can use it. And along with that, you can mix starch powder and you can make as much as quantity you want by mixing with water and drying it. And you can grind it if it is like a lump, and you can use it in the powder form. Or if you want in a liquid form, you can dilute it with water and you can use it in a liquid form. That is a very simple way where we can produce or make organic, natural, eco-friendly colors within our home, within the available materials. Like flower, as already mentioned, flower petals, leaves, roots. And you can also make through distillation process, even at home, like boiling, soaking, drying, grinding, to get different colors, which are harmless to skin, eyes, and are economical because they are all the ingredients which are required are available freely in and around our homes. So we will just look at some ingredients. If you want to prepare an yellow color, so what you can do, you can use turmeric, 1 part of turmeric or 2 parts of flour or besan. Then you can also use atta, maida, rice flour or arrowroot powder or fuller's earth, that is multani mitti, or even talcum powder in place of besan. So whichever, again, if you use other products, it might become costly. Whichever is cheaper, easily available, you can use that, which is organic, again natural and organic. Mix appropriate quantity of the powder, that is turmeric, along with any flour, or use it separately. So you can dry the bale fruit to obtain yellow color powder. So if you have bale fruit in your compound or in your locality, you can let it dry and grind it to get an yellow color powder. For red color, you can grind red sandalwood into fine powder and use it as a natural color. Or you can use roses, let them dry and powder it and use it as red color. Or you can use beetroot or hibiscus flowers. You let them dry and grind them and use it as a red color, or you can mix with water to make a liquid red color, which is natural and eco-friendly. You can also use other flowers like marigold, sunflower, based on the colors. You can just find any of the colors like blue color, blueberry, or even blue color flowers and similar colors. Whichever color you find, you can just dry it and powder it and use it as in that color. So for green color, you can use mehndi or henna powder mixed with equal quantity, whatever, because you might not get huge quantity as required. So we are mixing it with flour, some flour, which is cheaper and which is easily available, affordable, natural, so that we get good amount of color as much as required. Otherwise, if you need small amount, then that would suffice. Or you can also use a wheat plant. For black color, you can use mustard oil. If you heat that, you can see, the thickened oil, which will be black, can be used as a black powder when dried and grinded. And for magenta colors, you can, as I said earlier, for red, magenta colors and all, you can grate beetroot and mix it with water or dry beetroot and make it in a powder, and you can use it. So that will yield to magenta color or reddish color. Or you can also use onions. Onions, you take some 10 to 15 peels of onion or one big onion. You peel it off in half liter of water, and you can use that water as red color. You can dilute it as you want. You can burn it or you can leave it also. By cooling it, the color will turn into red color. So similarly, we can use various home remedies or home, do-it-yourself things to get desired shades of colors. Like if you have buras, that also gives a red color when soaked in water overnight. So find anyway now Holika Dahan is there from 9:45 onwards. So Murat. So now you can go around and find some leaves from flowers, and you can make it powder and use it tomorrow for colors. If you need more quantity, you can just add any atta, any flour to it and make as much as you want, or add it to water and you have plenty of organic, natural, safe color. And for purple, also you can use purple color flowers, or for blue or similar bluish colors, you can crush the berries of indigo plant if you have one, or blueberries. Add water for the desired color and you can dilute it for the shade. So some indigo species leaves when boiled in water yield a rich blue color. Not only just berries or fruits, sometimes some indigo plants will also give flowers, which if they are boiled in water or if they are let out in the water overnight, that bluish solution is formed. And for black, there is also other option. You can boil dried fruits of amla, which is also known as Indian gooseberry, in an iron vessel and leave it overnight and dilute with water and use. That will also give black color water. So it is also safe. You can use it by diluting and using. And there are also other ways to prepare, like if you have this tesu flowers or sandalwood or neem or turmeric and all these, you can also prepare similar. You can grind them and use similar colors. Generally, mostly we use red color, pink color, yellow color, blue color, orange color. These are quite popularly, used colors. So you can find any of these, or you can also add peels of pomegranate. If you want strong red color, you can just peel off the pomegranate and you can boil it and leave it overnight for a stronger red color. You can use it as a powder, or you can boil it and keep the water aside, and you can use it by distilling it as per the shade you want. It is a good alternative for red gulal, which is chemical color. You can easily prepare with this and pomegranate peels, or even with beetroot. You can get similar colors. And as already mentioned, red hibiscus colors also can be dried or can be used as a wet. Then powdered, if it is a dried, it can be used as red color, or if it is grinded wet, it can be used as a liquid color. And you can add any flour to it to make it powder, or you can bring on shade in a similar way. For magenta, as already mentioned, you can use beetroot. You can soak it in some water, leave it overnight. After grating the beetroot, you just leave it in water and dilute more water as required in the morning. So that is easy way to have this magenta color. And for saffron color, you can use tesu or palash. These flowers can be soaked overnight in water and can also be boiled to obtain a fragrant saffron colored water. Or you find any similar color of fruit or vegetable or plant, and make sure it is edible and it is safe. Most of them which are lying around are safe, edible, and which are not harmful to our skin. Or you can also soak a few threads of saffron color, that is kesar, in water and leave it for a few hours, and then you can use it, dilute it and use it, or otherwise you can soak in a small water portion of water, maybe 2-3 tablespoons of water with some threads of saffron, and you can grind it and make a fine paste, and this paste can be diluted with water for desired color. Otherwise you can use some threads of saffron soaked overnight, that will also give desired color to the water. For yellow and bright yellow and yellowish shades, as already mentioned, you can use turmeric. You can mix in water and you can use it. That is also natural. And turmeric is good for health and skin also, right? So there is no harm. And if you want a shade of yellow, then you can use varieties of haldi, like turmeric, like kasturi haldi, that will give a golden shade. And these are very good for health. All these are having medicinal properties. So these will not cause any harm, and it is easy to prepare at your own places. Now you can also use amaltas like marigold or yellow flowers for different shades of colors. You can make a powder of it, mix it with any flour or lentil powder, and soak it overnight, let it be dried, and then grind it and use it as a powder. So if you want it in liquid form, you can mix that with water and dilute as per the required shade. For blue, as already mentioned, Neeli Gulmohar flowers are there. These flowers are especially summer season. They are found widely. They bloom in summer season. So this is right season. We can get this Neeli Gulmohar flowers, and they can be dried in shade and hand grounded or grinded to get beautiful blue powder. That can be also used. You can also use blueberries, or you can use blue flowers. You can grind it and use it as a powder and then dilute in water or directly soak overnight in water, and you can obtain blue color. You can use indigo or indigo species, varieties of trees for rich blue color. See how we can make so many with available flowers, fruits, vegetables. We can use safe, organic, and eco-friendly colors at home itself. So try looking for creative ideas and innovations, and you can make safe, natural, eco-friendly colors at home. So thank you once again, everyone, for joining, and hope there are no further presentations today. There is no response from Dr. Ashok as well. So I think he couldn't even fix the problem. So we shall conclude it here. Thank you everyone for joining us. And happy Holi once again to all of you. And see you all tomorrow at 6 o'clock. And irrespective of the list or schedule, we request everyone to complete all the presentations tomorrow only, because tomorrow is the last date for all the presentations to be completed. We see many presenters who have registered as presenter but didn't turn up. We have been sending reminders also through email almost daily. But anyway, tomorrow is the last date to complete your presentations. So everyone, whether it is listed or not listed, scheduled or not scheduled, on the website, if you have registered for the presentation, you join tomorrow at 6 o'clock and share details in chat box. We will permit you for the presentation. So kindly inform all your friends or colleagues if they want to register. Also, they can register now or tomorrow before 6 o'clock, and they can present and also participate. So thank you once again, everyone. See you all tomorrow. Take care. Good night.